You're watching VinylicPumaGaming. Hey guys, back with another video, and today I want to just talk to you guys about a lot of the things that have been going on recently, both with this channel and the future of YouTube. Now, I know a lot of you guys are subscribed to this channel for Borderlands or Fallout content, and you have other channels you watch that are going to be going over this subject in much more depth. However, I still wanted to touch base with you guys, let you guys know that I'm probably going to be okay, and discuss what exactly is going on as I understand it. So I guess without further ado, let's start. As I'm sure many of you are probably aware, a whole bunch of advertisers have pulled their ads from YouTube. I guess some notable ones are AT&T, Verizon, Coca-Cola, Walmart, Pepsi, and Starbucks. And this has affected a bunch of YouTube channels' ad revenue since the boycott began, including my channel. Now, while I won't discuss specific numbers with you guys because I don't feel comfortable doing that, what I will say is that compared to what I was earning in the middle of March, I am now earning 60% less. To put that in perspective, let's say you were getting paid $10 to $14 an hour. Well, now you're making $4 to $5.50 an hour. For the first time, I've encountered a situation where my channel has actually gotten more views. However, I've had a negative correlation in ad revenue, and it's really bizarre. Like, you can look at a graph, my views go up, but my earnings and ad revenue go down, and that is the first time that has ever happened to my channel. As of right now, we have no idea how long this boycott is going to last. Things could go back to normal in a week or maybe a month. However, it could end up taking much longer than that. What I can say is that for the moment, my channel should be fine. Make no mistake, this is definitely a rough period. However, I'm going to stay optimistic for the time being. That said, if you want to know what the best way to support me is at this time, just watch and like my videos if you like them. I think in the long term, things will be okay and things should eventually go back to normal. With that said, there seems to be a purge every so often on YouTube, and one of the more recent purges that comes to mind was the Content ID system that became more readily implemented back in 2013. This was a situation where copyright holders were claiming videos on YouTube and taking all the ad revenue from these videos. This, of course, ended up wiping out many channels because they were using copyrighted images or music in their videos. And in case you're curious as to why my channel doesn't ever feature any music, that's why. Ultimately, I think this advertiser boycott is another YouTube purge. The thing is, it's unclear how much damage this boycott will do since we don't really have any idea of how long it will last. I'd say if it's about a month or two, then the vast majority of creators are probably going to be okay. And ultimately what you'll probably see is you're going to see like a month where you are making like very little compared to the month previous, and then it's basically back to normal the month after that. However, I would say if it's much longer than that, say 5 to 6 months or even longer, that's really going to affect a lot of YouTube channels. On the flip side, I think YouTube and Google will have a lot of this resolved sooner rather than later. After all, Google and YouTube are companies that want to make money, and if content creators' ad revenue is down, then that means that the ad revenue YouTube is receiving from content creators is also down. Now, just because I'm optimistic doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not concerned. Between this and the recently introduced restricted mode, I am at least a little worried for my future on YouTube. When the advertiser boycott is over, what is YouTube going to look like? We already have hoops to jump through with advertiser-friendly policies to where you can't even use certain keywords in our videos. News and politics channels currently risk being demonetized when covering specific news topics. Who's to say that the future advertising policies won't affect gaming channels like this one or countless others that are out there? YouTube's new restricted mode already blocks a significant portion of videos from big gaming channels like PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye. As far as my channel is concerned, I am almost completely blocked in restricted mode, except for a few videos that I made last year. And the thing is, 4 of the 5 videos that aren't blocked have under 10,000 views. You also have to think, if restricted mode becomes the default, how are people going to find videos from creators that are blocked by the system? If one creator is restricted while the other isn't, and they cover the same type of content, that's going to give the creator that isn't blocked way more reach than someone that is blocked. The worst part is that YouTube doesn't really tell us why certain channels are restricted, and if you are restricted, it doesn't appear that there's any way to change your content or fix what you do to make it so that you aren't restricted. Maybe I'm being a little hyperbolic here, but I would say if restricted mode ever became the default, that is going to majorly affect the content that appears on this website, and it's also going to affect the types of games that seem to get popular on this website. I would say with restricted mode, Call of Duty wouldn't be as big as it is. And if you even think about like Fallout 4, like if you search right now and you look up Fallout 4 videos on YouTube, you're only really going to get videos on settlement building. And let's just be real, guys. I mean, while the settlement building community for Fallout 4 is fairly popular, there are a lot of people that weren't too crazy about settlement building and ultimately wanted the classic Fallout experience, where it's kind of a goofy game with like ultra violence, and that's sort of its appeal. On the one hand, I sort of understand why they added the restricted mode to YouTube, and a lot of that, I guess, is for parents that don't keep a close eye on their kids, and really for YouTube, I mean, it's kind of like this weird algorithm. It suggests all these different videos. I mean, maybe 1 minute you're watching something that is, I guess, like kid friendly, and then the next moment you're watching something that is definitely not kid friendly. But at the same time, there's the YouTube Kids app for that purpose. I mean, a lot of the content that appears in that is basically very child friendly, and for the most part, it's just unboxings of toys. I guess all I can really say is that I'm in this for the long haul now, or until circumstances arise to where I can't do YouTube anymore. Like I said earlier, I should be okay for the time being. I'm in a fortunate enough position to where I don't have like any major debts or major expenses like car payments, mortgages, or anything else like that. What I will say is that this is a wake-up call for me, and I do really need to be looking at alternate revenue streams in the future so I'm not hit as badly by stuff like this when it happens. But enough about all that stuff. Right now, I want to talk about some more positive things that are going on with the channel, and some future plans that I've had for a while now that are really not going to be derailed too much by this recent advertiser boycott. So let's talk about that. I've got to say that I am pretty excited for a lot of the new PC hardware that's been coming out lately, as I've been thinking about upgrading a lot of my production quality for my videos. Lately, I've been mostly doing 1080p 30 FPS videos, and the big reason for that is because I've had a lot of issues with my recording and editing software. If I render videos where the file size is too big, the software corrupts it, so I have to lower the frame rate. As I'm sure many of you noticed late last year, my video length has gotten a lot longer now, and I shoot for making 15-minute videos as opposed to the 10-minute videos that I used to make. Basically what it comes down to is that I've discovered that to get the video length that I want at the quality that I want, I really need better editing and recording software, and it is time to upgrade. Now, I know that I've talked about all of that stuff for a while now, and really I started talking about it in like late December, maybe even early December. However, the main reason I waited so long was because I was waiting for both Intel and AMD's new line of CPUs to come out, and I was also waiting for Nvidia to announce their new graphics card, and now that both have been released, I can finally start preparing funds to acquire these parts. And my goal for a while now was to upload videos and in 4K 60 FPS, and if possible, I'd like the capability to record and render HDR video as well. As far as editing software is concerned, I think I may end up just getting Adobe Premiere. I've heard that it's really good editing software, and it's apparently the only editing software on the market that will allow you to edit and render HDR video. Maybe that'll change and I'll switch to something else later on, but for right now, that's going to be my plan. I can't really give you guys a definitive ETA as to when all of this is going to go down. What I can say is I'm going to try to get some stuff done this week, particularly with like finances and stuff. And then what I'm going to do is once all of that is done, I'm going to basically pool my funds. I'm going to build this PC and we'll just go from there. Alright guys, I think that's going to wrap up this particular video. I just wanted to touch base and let you guys know how the boycott was affecting my channel. Ultimately, I think I'm going to go ahead with a lot of the things that I had planned. And I guess we'll just see what happens. My hope is that things will be okay by May. However, if it's a lot longer than that, I guess I'm just going to have to cross that bridge when I come to it. But otherwise, like this video if you liked it, click the bell to join the notification squad, and as always, take care, and I'll see you all next time.